So I definitely was not expecting another trailer to drop for this game anytime soon. I thought they were pretty much done putting out trailers until the official release, but we did get this reserve trailer, which is amazing. The map itself looks absolutely beautiful. I love the way everything looks, and apparently these right here are the mule deer. Now, I misspoke a few videos back and ended up saying that they were mule deer, but it is indeed I ended up saying they were blacktail, but they are indeed mule deer. As I said last time, I think they look pretty good. The pheasants look pretty solid as well. I didn't know there was going to be American badger, but I'm incredibly happy to see that there will be. These are the whitetail deer. I think they look very good. The rack looks a lot better than the racks that we see in Call of the Wild. Still undecided as to whether or not it is better than the racks in Classic, but I'm eager to see what the rest of the whitetail will look like, because obviously this is just one example. Right here we have the American black bear, which, though a little bit chunky, they do look very nice. And these right here are the elk, which are a little bit smaller elk than what they can get. They do get much larger, which we have seen through one of the screenshots. Here we have the red fox, which looks pretty good as well. It's about the same as the ones that I've seen in other hunting games, so I think they did pretty well with that. Gray wolf looks stunning, and the howl, of course, sounds amazing as we heard in the trailer. Now here we have the bighorn sheep, which we didn't really get too many glimpses of, unfortunately. It was just a quick look. Here is the mountain goat, which I think this is the species that I think needs the most work, but it still looks decent enough to where it's not going to hamper my gameplay much. The Ross's goose and the lesser scaup look really good. I think the scaup might be my favorite bird that they showed off in this trailer. The mallards look pretty decent. The moose look about as I would expect for some smaller size moose. I'm really curious to see what a large moose is going to look like. If they can nail the big moose, then moose hunting in this game could be incredible. And honestly, I think in the background of this trailer, we did get a brief glimpse of the big moose towards the end there when it was showing the image of the logo and stuff. And if that is what they are going to look like in game, I am pretty excited for the moose hunting. Now, overall, what are my opinions on everything shown off in this trailer here? I think it's pretty solid. It shows a lot of promise, as I've said. There's obviously a couple small things that I would tweak, but this game is still unreleased, and therefore they've got plenty of time to tweak some things, and I'm sure they will make tweaks after it's fully released as well. But the things that I say need the most work is probably the look of the mountain goat. They do look a little bit too bulky compared to what real mountain goats would look like. The other thing that I would probably say is the mule deer maybe could use a slight color change in their fur. It's a little bit too, I guess, like reddish brown, similar to a blacktail deer, though blacktail are a subspecies of them. Most of the time, mule deer do have more of a grayish look to them, in most places at least. I'm sure there's some areas where they don't, but I would like to see that tweaked a little bit and maybe have a little bit more mass on the antlers. But as I've said before, we have yet to see a lot of the racks for them, so I could be completely wrong. There might be some that are absolutely amazing looking, and they definitely look pretty good just from the trailer, but there's some minor things that I would change on them. Other than that, everything looked really good to me. They showed off some of the larger elk in screenshots, as I mentioned, and those have me very excited for the elk hunting. And seeing a bunch of raghorn bulls like we see in the trailer, it does get me kind of excited, because in real life, you're not going to see a giant elk around every corner. So the fact that there's a lot of raghorns, and then you can find like an absolute giant if you're lucky, I like that a lot. And I'm really curious to see how rare the big trophies are going to be, because all of the big ones that they've shown off look phenomenal. So I'm really curious what the giants are going to be like rarity-wise. And out of the 3 birds they showed off, the scaup definitely looks like it's going to be the one that I pursue the most. That might be one of the coolest looking waterfowl birds I've ever seen. I didn't even know that they were a thing until this trailer, and I think it might be my new favorite bird species amongst all the hunting games that are out there, and I'm very excited to hunt those. So I honestly cannot wait for this to come out. It can't come soon enough. Let's just hope that this next month goes by quickly, or a month and a half, I suppose, and hopefully we will be able to have quite a bit of fun on this game. And I'm also really curious to what they're going to show on the other reserve, because they haven't shown off nearly as much for that one as they have for this one right here. I'm curious to see if we're going to get red deer. I really hope we do, but that I'm not 100% sure on. But if anybody has any information on that, I would love to know whether or not there's going to be red deer. because if there is, well, that's where most of my time is going to be spent. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the trailer and a quick breakdown of what we saw in it. I do think there was a lot that looked great, and then just a couple things that I would tweak. Oh, another thing that I do want to note before we end is that the badgers look great. I'm excited for badgers. I didn't even know they were going to be in this game, but the fact that we have badgers is really cool. That's been a long time requested species in the Hunter Call of the Wild. So for us to finally get it in a hunting game is going to be amazing. I don't think any game's done that before. So it's really nice to see that badgers are finally getting some love. And from what we saw in the trailer, it looks like they're going to behave pretty realistically, and I just love the way they look. I'm very excited for them. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to go ahead and end it there. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and ring that notification bell so that you guys will never miss any of the future uploads. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace!